I saw a tape the other day. Wish I would have brought it in because it was Ma McRoberts from the radio station days singing as Marilyn Monroe, Happy Birthday to Mike Smith.
I remember that.
Because today is Mike Smith's birthday.
I am officially a senior citizen Medicare baby as of today.
So as Ma McRoberts would have sung, Happy Birthday to you. It was funny when she did that. Yeah. I was surprised that she was willing to do it. That was, golly, that might have been 30 years ago, Mike.
I'm trying to remember if she made chili. I always loved her chili. It was fantastic.
I never got to taste her chili. She never made it. She did have the cheese puffs and all that kind of stuff, and popcorn and everything. I would enjoy that. Chili. But I always heard about the chili, never got to experience the chili. Ma McRoberts, one of our favorite people.
Yeah.
All right. It's Mike's birthday. So happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you. Love and kisses.
Yes.
Aunt Ruth, thanks for the well wishes on the way to work this morning.
Oh, did she call you?
She did.
Nice, very nice. I got to meet Aunt Ruth. Did I tell you that?
No.
This was at Dance for Kids' Sake.
Oh, I didn't know she was there.
She was there.
She was there, cheering on Carter. Dragon.
Did she get up and dance too?
No.
Everybody's doing the Trump dance now. Everybody. Yeah. NFL players. You know, it's like everybody's in on the act. So, yeah.
That's been fascinating to watch. I just can't believe I'm seeing it happen, and I'm like,
yeah. If you can call that dancing, I'm not real sure. I'm not a dancer,
but none of them do it like he does it. I mean, they do the hip action, but the video that they showed, he's kind of like rolling his hands like it. Maybe he'll do that on Inauguration Day.
That'll be interesting to see.
Hey, let's get to the weather. We need to see how the weather's playing out on Mike's birthday. Mr. Wet Blanket. Usually is the case. I heard it raining a second ago.
Well, let's start with what it was causing delays this morning. There were a number of school delays because of fog, and it was really thick out in Frankfort. I had, it started last night. I had to go out and feed the daughter's cats because she's out of town on business, and it was so foggy I could hardly see in front of me.
And you couldn't let the grandcats starve.
They couldn't starve.
You fought through it.
So a lot of the schools, not all in our area, but a good number of them were on 2-hour delay this morning. That's pretty much lifted. It's rain that's here and there on a Wednesday, high of 64 today. But you'll see those temperatures start to drop this afternoon. Much colder, windy, and possible light snow for Thursday with a high of 38. Wind chills in the 20s. And then back up to the low 40s on Friday.
We'll have to bundle up for Friday night's events.
Yeah.
Seeing the Shine On and everything. By the way, we talked with the ladies from Shine On, 2 of the ladies. There are 10 total, plus 1 gentleman helping out as well. But you can see that on our YouTube channel right now. Is that right?
Not yet.
Not yet. But you can see it here
because
on the Facebook page.
That interview ended 15 minutes ago, and we had to do a quick turnaround to get this show up.
Gotcha. So at any rate, you'll be able to check that out. I do have one question for you. How many grandcats do you have now?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay, that's good.
She started out with 8 that she rescued, and she kept 2, and the other 6 were adopted by other people.
That adorable Sarah Smith.
Yeah.
Coming up in just a moment, a look at what's making news for us, sports, and this date in history. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you've got an issue with the heater, which, it's that time of the year where it's cold, and you need to turn that heater on, and it's not coming on doing what it's supposed to do, you're not comfortable. Well, they are your trusted comfort advisor. Speaking of Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you to their website, accuratehvac.com. Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Haynes Total Health Care, chiropractic, physical therapy, nutritional needs. They've been taking care of that for 50 years now, and they've been taking care of me for like 30 years or thereabouts. Make sure you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you to hayneshealth.com, where you can learn more about their services, their hours, and what they do to help you stand upright. While you're at littermedia.com, you can follow along with some of the stories we're going to share with you here today. One of them is on a special edition of Litter Media Live yesterday. Tabernacle Baptist Church's Sean Kellner, he was in to talk about Marketplace, Journey to the King. Kellner is the producer for this 3-night experience, which takes groups through 7 different stages to the birth of Christ.
It starts in our teen center, and we journey through the whole building just about. The only place we don't stop is the sanctuary.
Oh, really?
But we go through, there's 7 mini scenes, one of them being the marketplace, where you'll go and there's going to be a bunch of booths with period-specific artisanal products, you know, carpenter shop and the pottery shop and jewelry making and basket weaving and all that stuff. Be able to spend some time in there looking at those things and have a few handouts along the way and be able to take something home with you. The journey starts with the Magi seeing the star. That's the very first scene. And then it's just a progression of that story culminating with the birth of Jesus in the manger. And like I said, that final scene is the big climax of the birth of Jesus, and it's great. It's a really great production.
The production is free, and it features more than 30 actors and involves about a third of the Tabernacle congregation to put this on. Marketplace will be December 5th through 7th from 6 until 8 p.m. nightly.
Some honors coming to Adena Health, their Heart and Vascular Institute and Orthopedic and Spine Institute recently receiving an award from the American Heart Association's Get With the Guidelines Awards program for its quality care, giving patients in South Central and Southern Ohio peace of mind, knowing that nationally recognized trusted heart and stroke care is near. Congratulations to our friends out at Adena.
You might remember last June in a special edition of Litter Media Live, Kingston National Bank CEO Phil Evans spoke on fighting fraudulent schemes. Well, Tuesday, in a groundbreaking collaboration to combat the growing threat of financial scams and fraud, financial institutions, law enforcement agencies, and the Ohio Attorney General's Office announced the creation of the South Central Ohio Fraud Forum, a.k.a. SCOF. This innovative partnership is dedicated to educating and empowering communities in the fight against fraudulent schemes. And I remember Phil was saying, I wish we could maybe sit down and have this kind of open forum talk between those of us in the industry, because banking centers were losing money because of all the fraud that's been going on. And here it is 5 months later, and it's happened. So they will have a special meeting here pretty soon, I think sometime in January, where they will begin. It'll be like a luncheon. They'll introduce educational procedures to people like us watching here today and help us learn how to prevent falling into these schemes.
Discover the new exhibit at the Mound City Group Visitor Center in Chillicothe. This temporary exhibit introduces you to the complex history of St. Clair's defeat, which occurred November 4th of 1791, and its context and aftermath with respect to the 9 tribal nations who orchestrated this great defeat of the U.S. military. The exhibit was co-created with 11 tribal humanities scholars. Now, the exhibit is up now through April 13th of 2025. You can see it each day, 9 to 4.
And that's up where?
At the Mound City Group Visitor Center.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The Ohio Department of Development has announced $58.2 million in state support to help clean up and redevelop 61 hazardous brownfield sites in 33 counties. The largest of a dozen area sites is the remedial activities is the former CSX property adjacent to the Chillicothe City Transit Station, which will include soil excavation. The project supports future residential and commercial development, including infrastructure for electric vehicle transportation. The city of Chillicothe plans to develop affordable workforce, housing, and transit-related facilities on that site.
And that's $1 million that's coming to Ross County. The Ohio Amber Alert Advisory Committee is reminding Ohioans that leaving unattended kids and running vehicles, even for a brief period of time, can result in stranger abductions requiring an Amber Alert. Between 2021 through 2024, of the 48 Amber Alert activations, 6 involved children that were left in stolen vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And you see that in the big cities anymore. Yeah. It's crazy, but it's hitting rural America as well. If you're looking to make a difference this holiday season, give a sheltered dog a cozy home and some extra love during the Ross County Humane Society's Thanksgiving Sleepover program. Pickup dates are Saturday, November 23rd through Wednesday, November 27th. The return date is Saturday, November 30th. You will need to schedule your return time during that pickup. Pretty cool thing for the dogs.
Yes.
And when you do pick them up, don't give them turkey.
They don't like turkey? It's bad for them?
I think they like the turkey, but the turkey bones are really the biggest hassle for dogs. So don't let that happen.
Yeah. Did you have an add-on that you were going to tag there at the end? I can't remember. There was something I thought that you added on.
Not for news.
Okay. No. Very good.
For sports, which is next, Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you've got an issue that you need a dumpster, you need to call Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to reach them. Give them a call today.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming. He explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
In sports, this time next week, we're going to be talking about the McDonald's Zane Trace Tip-Off Classic. There are 9 games being played, and as you can see there, it starts on Wednesday this year as they work around the Thanksgiving holiday. So they'll play 4 games on Wednesday and 5 games on Friday. It starts at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Amanda Clear Creek takes on Huntington. New Hope Christian Academy battles Wellston at 4. Then at 6, Bexley takes on Logan Elm. And Circleville faces Zane Trace at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Skipping Thanksgiving, we'll go to Friday. 11 a.m., the junior varsity teams for Chillicothe and Zane Trace play at 11. 1 o'clock, it's Ross County Christian Academy in Piketon. 3 p.m., Federal Hocking takes on Southeastern. 5 p.m. is Bishop Reedy and South Point. And Adena takes on Chillicothe at 7 o'clock. And sometime in there, I can't remember where they'll do it, they will honor Joe Dunkel, who has been a longtime girls basketball coach at Zane Trace. He is the honoree for this year. He's going into the Hall of Fame with Mike Smith. And many other folks.
Many other folks.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Probably more worthy than me. The Ohio State football team got some good news and some bad news. The good news first. The Buckeyes still ranked number 2 behind Oregon in the latest college football playoff rankings. It's kind of good stuff for the Big Ten. Of course, Oregon and Ohio State 1-2. Penn State is 3. Or check that. Penn State is 4 behind number 3 Texas. And then Indiana, Ohio State's next opponent this weekend, is ranked number 5. Now the bad news. Seth McLaughlin, their All-American center that transferred here from Alabama, he is out for the rest of the season. Achilles tendon injury yesterday in practice. And they've already lost one of their offensive linemen in the Oregon game. That's not good because McLaughlin is one of the anchors of that offensive line.
And former Ohio State lineman Dawan Jones broke his fibula in the Browns game against the Saints Sunday.
So tough stuff for the linemen. The Ohio Bobcats, that MAC Wednesday night thing still going on as they go to the Glass City. It says tomorrow, but it's actually tonight as the Bobcats are taking on the Toledo Rockets in a key MAC matchup.
If we can steal a line from a song, make it MAC tonight. Cleveland Cavaliers on their way to Boston, and the streak is done. They fell by 3 points, 120 to 117. The Cavaliers now 15-1 on the season. Ohio State men's basketball had no problem with Evansville. First time they'd met since, I think they said, 1976. And Evansville was 50 points under. 80 to 30. I don't know what the over-under was on this. I don't get into the gambling stuff, but I don't know that anyone picked them to win by 50 points.
Yeah.
And Cleveland Guardians rookie manager Stephen Vogt got the votes, named as American League Manager of the Year, leading the Guards to the ALCS. And, of course, he replaced Terry Francona, who is now replacing... Oh, how soon they forget. David Bell, who's now the VP and GM of the Toronto Blue Jays. Saw that over the weekend?
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a big step up.
Well, I wish David well. David's a good guy.
He is a really good guy.
He just really struggled making right decisions, apparently, with the Reds. So
Yeah. Well, Dusty Baker, good guy, but some would say he left his pitchers in too long.
But he wins at Houston. Why does that always happen?
I don't know.
You succeed elsewhere, but not.
We learn our mistakes by managing the Reds.
Don't do that again, yeah.
Right. Coming up, a look at this date in history, the Litter Media Wayback Machine. Does it go to 65 years ago today?
No.
I mean, that could be this date in history.
Yeah, you could.
When a little baby got spanked for the first time at Greenfield Hospital.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to something much more significant out of 1945. Something that actually my Uncle Bob had a direct involvement with. All that's coming up.
All right.
There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Learn a lot about our local history when you get involved with the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau. But now we're going to learn our national history, which is on the world stage.
Yes, sirree. On this date in 1945, the Nuremberg trials begin in Nuremberg, Germany. 24 high-ranking Nazis go on trial for atrocities committed during World War II, beginning on this date in 45. The Nuremberg trials were conducted by an international tribunal made up of representatives from the U.S., Soviet Union, France, and Great Britain. Now, you see those guards standing behind Hermann Goering? Mm-hmm. My Uncle Bob was one of the guards of the Nuremberg trials, but he was not a guard inside the courtroom. He was a guard outside, but he wore that exact same kind of uniform. But they let the guards that were patrolling the outside of the courtroom, on certain occasions, they could come in and sit in the courtroom as a spectator so they could see firsthand what they were guarding on the outside. But a select few of those soldiers, as you saw those two behind Hermann Goering, they were guards inside the courtroom.
I think I would have rather been seated than standing guard for as long as they have to stand guard.
Yeah.
I remember at Buckeye Boy Scout State, I was an Ohio State patrolman, and I volunteered for the first shift of guarding the governor. Mm-hmm. So I went everywhere the governor went throughout his day, and I had to stand like that in his office while everything was going on, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I can handle this next shift, because the guy who was supposed to take the second shift backed out. So I had a full day of standing at parade rest.
Now, what are the guys at Buckingham Palace? What are they? Do they have a particular name, just guards at Buckingham Palace?
All I know is the changing of the guard.
But they're kind of similar to the guards, military guards at Arlington.
Yeah.
They don't crack a smile. I mean, there's been comedy bits where people are standing in front of them, getting them in the way. They don't smile or anything. They stay in that position at all the time.
I can't imagine the discipline it takes to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and the weather that they have to be out there in.
Have you ever seen the list of criteria that these who guard the tomb of the unknown soldier have to go through?
Yeah.
Is there a certain area underneath the tomb where they prepare, and everything has to be every T crossed, every I dotted before you step out. And it's just incredible to see that.
I think it might actually be in the basement of the building that leads you out into that area. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever seen the changing of the guard?
I've not.
Yes.
I've only seen it not.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
When we were one of the times we were there, I don't know what was a kid or what.
You've been to London?
No, I'm talking about the changing of the guard at Arlington. You were talking about Arlington.
Okay, I thought you were talking about.
No, and somebody said something in the crowd, and the guard stopped, and he points at the offender in the crowd about it being a solemn ceremony, no talking. Do you know those guys have the authority to shoot?
I did not know that.
If somebody would try to deface that monument.
Now, is that true, or is that just your dad saying that to keep you in line?
Dad was not there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was an adult, but he might have still had to tell me to stay in line. But yeah, those guys have permission, if they have to shoot to kill.
Wow.
That's serious business.
That should be something you're told before
you go to see Arlington Cemetery.
Thank you, Traffic Light Sports. It's the King's Guard.
The King's Guard, thank you. Yeah.
I like their hats.
Now, in the Vatican, the guards are from Switzerland. Mm-hmm. I think that started like 300 or 400 years ago, that the Swiss government committed these guards to the Vatican. Mm-hmm. But they are dressed in like the uniform that they wore 300 or 400 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Like you see on the jack of,
it almost looks like a jester, a court jester outfit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you talked about the King's Guard's hats. That was similar to the hat we wore in the Tays Valley Marching Band back in the 1970s.
I would think that would be hot.
It was during the early, but when it got cold, it was great.
Oh, I bet.
And you could stuff stuff up inside of the hat as well.
I don't even want to know where you're putting your hat.
Well, I mean, picture
Big Mac or something like that.
There was one or two individuals that might have had a flask or something up inside of it with a little straw coming down, that kind of thing. Not me, but it might have been somebody that he's no longer with us, so I can't, I'm not going to besmirch his name.
Okay, that's good.
But the hats we wore were blue, and they looked a lot like Marge Simpson.
That's too funny. Yeah, so that's good.
I have to put a picture up one of these days to talk about that. All right, coming up 1 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to be focusing upon the downtown holiday open house and the Rudolph Run, which is coming up very soon. So we've got a lot of things to share with you as the holidays are upon us. So until then, enjoy the rest of your day. For Mike Smith, the icon, the birthday boy, and for Aaron Glandon, Mr. Hand 2, who's yawning off to the side, I'm Dan Ramey. Enjoy the rest of your day.